Good afternoon and welcome to the special meeting of the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors. The meeting today is to talk about appointing a citizens committee regarding filling a vacancy in legislative district number 22. So I would entertain a motion for item number one.
Mr. Chairman, this is Tom Galvin. Do we need to take roll?
Oh yeah, good point, Tom.
And then, Mr. Chairman, I do have a question for legal before any motions are entertained. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you,
Madam
Chairman.
Clerk,
I will take the roll for the record. All are remote. I will start with Supervisor Hickman.
Here.
Supervisor Gates.
Here.
Supervisor Galvin.
Here.
Supervisor Gallardo.
Here.
And Chairman Sellers.
Here.
Thank you.
Supervisor Galvin, or Vice Chairman Galvin.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. This is a housekeeping item, but I just want to make sure that we're doing everything according to the statute, since this is a unique situation. My question for legal, who's here, is Title 41-1202A5 says that if there's a failure by the LD to fill a vacancy, that the state party chairman shall immediately notify the Board of Supervisors, and this Board of Supervisors shall fill the vacancy. The time frame for appointing a citizens panel shall run from receipt of notification from the state party chairman. So I have a two-part question. A, when did that notification arrive from the state party chair? And B, was it done so? Because I haven't seen it yet. And if I missed it, I apologize.
Chairman Sellers and Supervisor Galvin, I have not seen any notification from the state, but that does not mean that it has not happened. So I'm unable to give specific advice because I do not know who gave notice to who and in what format it was given. I would be happy to
Okay, Mr. Chairman.
it, but I don't have those facts.
Mr. Chairman, this is Tom again. I just want to clarify, it's not the state itself, not the Secretary of State. It's the state party chairman. 41-1202A5 says the state party chairman shall immediately notify the Board of Supervisors. I haven't seen a notification from the state party chair. The time clock of 7 days runs from receipt of notification according to the statute. So I believe we need that before we're able to move forward. And I want to know if the Democratic State Party chair has complied with the statute.
I'm not sure how we get an answer to that right now.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
I just number one, I'm glad Supervisor Gallardo tabled the last agenda item to get us to this point, and I appreciate it, Steve. And I appreciate the phone calls that Steve has made to me. Might I suggest then I am absolutely fine to have you reschedule or push back the meeting to get Supervisor Galvin's answers. I don't know if Supervisor Gallardo, the county consistently is looked at for our prudence, our deliberations in the matter. We always want to make sure that we do not run afoul of any statutory requirements. And I would be happy to jump back on a call. I think that we have Supervisor Gallardo has done a great job in getting some names for this committee. And before we hear them, if a supervisor wants to absolutely make sure that we are not going to run afoul of any law or wade into a problem with any of the parties, by just doing this duty and this function that looks like we are being called upon, I would be fine with it. I'd also be fine with if Supervisor Gallardo wants to say something. But I'm ready to go at any point.
Supervisor Gallardo?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I have been playing phone tag since yesterday with the chair of the Democratic Party. I have not had a chance to actually speak with her, but I have spoken to their legal counsel. I've spoken to legislative legal counsel. I've had a number of conversations over the last 24 hours in regards to this. I would share the same thoughts with Mr. Hickman. Is we want to make sure that it is done correctly. This is how we got where the legislative district 22 got to where they were by just working on assumptions, and we don't want to do that. So I mean, I see our clerk there, our clerk of the board. I don't know if I have not personally received any notification, and I don't know if the clerk has received any type of notification.
Chairman Supervisor Gallardo, the clerk's office has not received a notification from the party chair.
Mr. Chairman, this is Tom again. Sorry, Steve.
No, go ahead, Tom.
No, I just want to reiterate with what Clint and Steve said. I think Clint and Steve have been duly diligent about complying and making sure that everything is being done the right way. I am just frankly shocked at how everything has transpired over this appointment and how the Democratic State Party chairman has not fulfilled their duties that are incumbent upon us to act after they fulfill those statutory duties. And it puts us in this position where I think we're going to have to table this until the Democratic Party gets their ducks in a row over there. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, Supervisor Galvin, all due respect, I mean, this is, I'm kind of thrown back that this was not brought up earlier before this call and waiting at the last minute while we're on this call. It would only have been appropriate if this was brought. I mean, I was under the impression that they made the notification. I wish this would have been brought up sooner before the call, so we could be sure that things were done correctly. That's
absolutely. I was under the impression that they made it as well.
No, don't get me wrong. I definitely hear you. I don't think anyone on this board wants to do anything incorrect. We want to make sure everything is done by Arizona revised statutes, and if it means pausing this while we go out and I just text the attorney for the Democratic Party to say, hey, has this been performed? He hasn't responded back. I'm waiting for a response. But I would have easily have reached out to him first thing in the morning this morning and asked, have they fulfilled what they needed to do? But until then, I think before we move forward, Mr. Chairman, we're going to have to wait to make sure that this is done correctly.
Okay, well, we do have a holiday on Monday. So do we talk about rescheduling for next week?
Mr. Chairman, I'm available at any time. I just my concern is just moving this forward as soon as possible. I mean, I want to be able to fulfill this seat as quickly as we can.
And Mr. Chair, I'm in the same position. I'll make myself available whenever you set a new meeting.
Okay. Well, and then
Mr. Chairman.
Do we think that we could have resolution for this later this afternoon?
It would be my preference, Mr. Chairman. And again, I apologize, gentlemen, to have a short recess while we figure this out and I get some clarification. I'd be more than happy to do my role in making sure that the proper notifications have been committed. They may have been done. I don't know. Doesn't look like our clerk's office has received it. but I will definitely do my part.
Okay, so we will recess. If we can't resolve this within the next, what, hour and a half, then we will delay it until next week.
Sounds good, Mr. Chairman.
Okay,
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Madam
Thank-
Clerk,
Thanks, guys.
what do we need to do to recess?
Chairman, I think you just did.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Jack, well, I'll be looking forward to your call from Rick or you guys if something pops up and we get the right things in hand. I will absolutely keep this afternoon open. If you want to call us back into session, give me a little bit of time to make sure I either get to a phone or a desktop, and I look forward to seeing you guys again, quite possibly.
Okay, very good, thanks.
Thank you. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Give me 1 second, Mr. Chairman. Okay, I am ready, Mr. Chairman, when you are.
Okay, we can resume the meeting.
I'm sorry, give me just a minute, Chairman.
Okay.
Go ahead, Chairman. We're ready.
We are now in the meeting of the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors. I don't know what we're hearing.
Chairman, we can barely hear. There's a lot of background noise.
Yeah, I think someone on the phone needs to mute their phone.
Mr. Gallardo. Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Yes, I can hear you all.
Okay. All right, Steve, we will now start addressing item number 1.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and once again, we appreciate your patience on this particular matter and the ability to bring everyone together. Thank you, my colleagues. I know we're all kind of out and about, so thank you for being patient and being part of this important time to select the actual Citizens Committee for the vacancy in Legislative District 22. Mr. Chairman, I know there's been a lot of conversation around this issue. It's unfortunate that we are in this position, but we will move forward. I think at the end of the day, it is critical that we move forward to fill the vacancy in LD 22. And according to statute, I would like to add a citizens panel of 5 members. 3 are female, 2 are male. All 5 members are well-known Democrats in the Legislative District 22. These are folks that, for the most part, we all are familiar with. At least Democrats are very familiar with these folks. They have played key roles in our community, and some have been and are current elected officials on a school board or at one point elected. So Mr. Chairman, I would move forward that we nominate first Francisca Montoya. Francisca Montoya is a Fowler School Board member that resides in the eastern portion of the Legislative District 22. I also would like to nominate Dom Murado, who is a business owner that resides in the heart of Tolleson, that many folks are very familiar with. I'd also like to nominate Sandra Cole. Sandra Cole's a retiree and has been a longtime Democrat, active within the party. She resides in the kind of the northern portion of the legislative district. Sandra Cole is a precinct committeeman in LD 22 as well. I'd also like to nominate Eleanor Perez. Eleanor is a citizen, taxpayer, right there in the middle of Tolleson. She's a mother and love to be able to nominate her as well as the fourth member. And the fifth member is a former councilman, former legislator, Lorenzo Sierra. I would also make a motion that we nominate Lorenzo Sierra to be the chairman of this citizens panel. And hopefully they can get together and work fast in order to look at these candidates and nominate three potential candidates to be considered by this board. Mr. Chairman, that is my motion. And I'd be happy to answer any questions if any of my colleagues would have any.
Okay, Stephen, and let me just say that my understanding from the conversations that we've had since we stepped out of the meeting is that there's some disagreement over the original timing issue with the party, but they are anxious for us just to move forward with this as soon as possible.
That is correct, Mr. Chairman. I think everyone realizes the importance of filling this particular vacancy. There's no doubt the legislature is in session. This is the time of the session in which bills are changing or flopping into other chambers. They are transferring bills over. So it is critical that we move forward with this process. We have the citizens panel in place, and they will be able to fulfill their responsibilities under this legislative statute.
Okay, so I guess what I'm saying is that my impression is that they would not challenge you putting this committee together to go forward with this at this point.
It is my understanding we have received the notice letting us know that under this particular statute that we have their next level of responsibility of organizing an actual legislative citizens panel as stated in statute.
And you and I did check in with the Maricopa County Attorney's Office, and we got agreement that it was sufficient for us to move forward. Is that correct?
That is correct, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. We have a motion. Would anyone like to second that motion?
Mr. Chairman, this is Tom Galvin. I'm happy to second that motion with a comment.
Okay, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm seconding the motion, and I really want to point out and thank Mr. Gallardo for his diligence and all of this. I think what all of the county board has been through over the last few years, what we are known for is following the law and being sticklers for the law. This item for a citizen panel was already on the agenda this morning, which meant that the chairman's office and Mr. Gallardo knew full well that this is the correct path to take, the statutory path to take. I do have to point out that we did receive the notice from the state party this afternoon. Unfortunately, it came late, and I do not appreciate the tone that they wrote in the letter. I think that Mr. Gallardo is doing this in all good faith, and I think just because the state party did not fail to comply with the statutory requirements is regrettable, but that's on them. It's not on the board. It's not on the chairman. It's not on Mr. Gallardo. We've had our issues with the Republican Party, and it seems now the Democratic Party takes exception to what the board does. But once again, the board follows the law. Whether you're incompetent or you fail to do so, we follow the law. That's what we do. And I want to thank Mr. Gallardo for taking this process serious and for taking the law serious. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Any further comments? We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, gentlemen. This meeting
Aye.
is adjourned.